Welcome to the Ugly Damn Truth Show.
How everybody doing today?
Definitely.
Well, today's topic is very interesting today. You know, why women can't keep or find
a good man.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, like we talking about, like I said earlier, we talking about why, you know, certain people, you know, it's kind of difficult for them to find and, you know, keep
a good man.
Absolutely.
So hopefully you guys had a good week so far.
Hopefully you like the love series we talked about.
Yeah, and that was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was
you
good.
know, we actually changing the, you know, we actually changing something, you know, this week. We trying something a little different.
Yeah, I think
and all kind of
we got so much to talk about, so much material. So I think 2 days is actually
what we need to start doing.
That's what we need.
And everybody voted on it.
Yeah, we got a lot of requests for us to go 2 days a week because they can't wait for Monday. So hey, and we needed it anyway because we got so much material, so much to talk about. We can't wait to get into some of these deep topics that I know you guys are waiting for. We got a lot of guests that's going to come on and speak about some things that that need to be talked about.
Yeah.
And the ugly damn truth, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about some subjects that, you know, most people, most normal folks don't want to talk about. But, you know, hey, at the end of the day, it's things that men go through, things that we see, things that, you know, we experience through our everyday life and that we don't get it, you know, we don't get to talk about. We don't actually, a woman never get to hear our side of the story.
Yeah, and that's what this whole show is about anyway, is for us to actually give women an opportunity
to learn
and listen how we think.
And how we listen.
Yeah.
And this ain't no Steve Harvey type of
No.
I think like a man.
And that's another point we're going to get on too.
You know what I mean? We coming from a real perspective, from our experiences in our life. And me and this man go way back, and we got quite a few experiences that, you know, makes all the sense and make things, you know, more, you know, open-minded to where we're coming from in a certain way.
Yeah, you're right about that. So yeah, like we said before, today's topic is going to be why women can't find / keep a good man. Now, we're going to say this. This is from our perspective. We're only speaking from our perspective as men. We're not talking about, you know, how women may see it. We're talking about how we see it as men. Mm-hmm. You know, right?
That's right. And you want to kick the show off?
Yeah, but once again, we got one of our favorite guests that's coming on, our brother. For a very long time, that, you know, and actually we've been getting requests for him to come back on as well.
Cause he was so vulnerable on one of the shows.
He
was like, whoa, vulnerable.
Yeah, but you know what? That's what's needed. You know what I mean?
Some needs a man to be vulnerable.
Have an outlet to speak how they feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
welcome our guest.
You want to welcome Isaac Day. What's going on, brother? Glad to have you back, brother.
What's up, my man?
Let me make some room for you.
Oh, yeah. All right, you mind me like in the middle. Hey, what's going on in the world? All the folks over watching in Europe and Canada, hey, I appreciate you.
Definitely. We definitely appreciate the people in Canada for following us. And some of it, like, it surprised me, man, that we got people in other countries following us.
So we must be speaking some damn type of truth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Obviously, we got to be
and it's a lot of women that's following us.
Yeah.
A lot of women that's following us.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, people from different countries, you know, saying that we're doing a great job, and that's cool, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys for following us, and, you know,
blessings. Thank you for that.
We appreciate that.
I'm putting a hoodie on because it's about to get real.
Well, you know, the thing is, you know, I hope nobody don't get offended, you know, but at the end of the day, there's no reason to get offended. So, kicking it off, you know, ladies, Well, at the end of the day, we go out.
But
and,
you go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
First, how you been, bro?
I've been super good. And when I was asked to come back, and I saw the title, I was like, Lord. I immediately let my folks over in Europe know, like, hey, this is a topic you cannot miss. It's hot, but how am I doing?
How you doing, bro?
Fantastic.
All right.
I did some cryotherapy today. Check it out.
Okay. You can tell the guests what that kind of therapy do to you.
So it helps you with, inflammation, if you get a good workout on, or if you got some stuff that's mentally going on, it basically cools your body down. And I went negative 245 today for 3 minutes. And let me tell you, that was amazing. I feel great. I'm happy to be on the show.
All right, man.
Y'all looking good.
Bro, you just cheated up. It must be was great because you just cheated.
Yeah. Y'all talking about I was crying. Like, listen, it was hot up in here. My eyeballs were sweating. All right.
We see you got the glasses on this time, so if you shed a tear, they can't see it.
Yeah, hey, listen.
All right. Well, ladies, like I was, basically about to get to, this is nothing about bashing anyone or anything like that. We're just coming from a loving place. But in order for you ladies to find someone, a decent guy. Shoot, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's kind of tough out there from what I understand and hear. I have a lot of lady friends, and at the end of the day, they all speak the same thing.
Yeah.
They come to me, they be like, Corey, I'm having the hardest time dating. I'm having the hardest time finding somebody on the same page as me. I'm having this, I'm having that, and I'm just soaking it in with this left ear. Then my left ear gets so tired, I got to go to the right ear, and I be like, well, damn, okay, like what are we doing? So do you have that same situation happening with you?
Me, of course. I have a lot of female friends. They say the same thing, bro.
What about you?
Especially the ones that, quote unquote, have been to college, have
successful
degrees, professional women that kind of have that problem finding men.
Yeah, and keeping a good, decent dude.
Yeah, well, that's another subject.
But it's all all gonna go together today.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, just because you think he's a good man don't mean he's a good man.
Yeah.
I think off a rip, there's a lot of.
But what qualities make a good man?
Well, I can't speak for the women.
But I'm saying
I can say this
from a man's perspective. What makes we're men? So what makes
what do I value as far as being a man, and what I think I should do is to be a provider, protector, supporter, spiritual guide, pretty much the head of the house in every aspect. I believe that's what a man's supposed to do. He needs to be understanding. He needs to be passionate about what he does. And the list goes on, but I think those are the main fundamental things.
Yeah, the basics
that a man should have. It's not easy.
Because a lot of women, now do you agree or not? A lot of women have this persona of what a good man's supposed to be.
What? Oh yeah.
They have all of these facts in their head, and they never been a man, and they don't even know how it is to be a man. But they don't even have. Some of them don't even have like people that actually, they can show them an example how to, like, hey, this is how a man's supposed to treat a woman. This is what it's supposed to be. But a lot of females, in my eyes, have a lot of
misconceptions about what a man's supposed to be.
What a man's supposed to be, what he's supposed to do. Because a lot of men got to have 10 different damn personalities to deal with one woman.
Well, I truly believe that mostly all people have multiple personalities anyway.
But what I'm saying though is on a grand scheme of things, like a man has to be, he can't be soft. He got to be the provider, like you just said. Yeah. He got to do all of these. He got to be super dad. He got to be all these different people in one person. You know what I mean? You heard of that before, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Could you elaborate on that a little more?
I'll take it a step further. You asked me a question, have I heard this before? Now, for those of you who know, I spent 23 years in the military, been all around the world, seeing some of the most, intelligent, beautiful, pure-hearted women. And one of the number one things I hear from my single female friends, hook me up with a good guy. And I always respond with, you're not ready.
Well, you know what, too? First of all, what is a good guy to them?
Yeah.
I don't think. Well, this is just my opinion. I don't believe that most women really know what they want. They haven't.
A general idea?
They have a general idea, but they're not exactly specific. Because sometimes they get exactly what they want.
Okay,
And then they let them go.
further than that. I can go a step further than that. Is it about getting what you want or getting what you need?
That's something. Yeah, I agree with you.
Because
it's more about what you need
than anything. Yeah, because everybody wants something, bro.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, God might don't have that.
That's a good point
for you.
That's a good point.
Because
that's a good point.
You can always want this, that, or this, and at the end of the day, it might not be exactly what you need. And a lot of women, they have that misconception of everything what they want, not what they need. Because that man, like a lot of women nowadays on this independency stuff, you know what I mean? Everybody want to be independent. But at the end of the day, life is a lot easier when you got two people in the household together striving for the same goals, right?
But yeah, I agree with you. But you hit on a point that I think that's very important about what you need and what you want.
Needs versus wants.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that is what I think is really happening. I really do when you think about it. These women want certain aspects in a man, okay? But it's not really what they need. And I think that probably goes to the point we was talking about in the other series about finding out what your
love language.
Your love language is, what your chart, your birth chart as far as your zodiac, all those different things. I think it matters. There's other people it may not.
Well,
I'm talking about being compatible with someone is important.
Well, compatibility,
because you find you have a different version of what you think compatibility is.
Well, from what the studies I've read and studies and all of that, you know what I'm saying, as far as the research, they had a recent study that showed even though you might be compatible in a lot of different areas, at the end that still doesn't matter because it's versus what people compatibility changes. People grow.
Of course.
So at the end of the day, at that moment in time, you can be compatible with someone, but that's still not good enough for some women. You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it may not be.
You get what I'm saying? You can
it goes back to what their needs are again.
But
they can be compatible, but what if they needed someone? Let's say if you meet a woman that's just horrible at finances, right? Okay. And they need someone that's more balanced. But
that's how you have a stronger relationship when you have someone that's the opposite.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
So, but you're saying we're talking about compatibility and what they need, but you're right about what you're saying. Just because you're compatible doesn't mean that you're going to have a successful, healthy relationship. Yeah. I agree with that totally because there's more aspects to that.
Yeah.
Being compatible helps. Because if you're not compatible...
Because at the end of the day, with compatibility, you're liking some of the same things. But for me, that's all that is. We all can be compatible. Us three are compatible.
But that binds us together. Without those things, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but it's a difference on a relationship type of thing.
It's the same.
No, it's a difference when an intimate relationship with a person is a little different.
I tell you what, that compatibility that's the fusion of when you combine with someone. If you find somebody you ain't got nothing in common with, you will not have a long conversation more than 5 minutes with them.
Of course,
because you can't relate to them.
But that's just the basics.
But that is the initial contact.
Let me answer this question though. We asked a young lady that we do a lot of behind the scenes work. So let me ask you this question. Most women don't know what they want and what they like. You ask a woman like, hey, what do you like to do?
They don't know. So
you get with a guy who got his stuff all together and he's like, hey, hey, what do you want to do? They really don't know what they like to do or what the massages, they're lost. Because no one took the time to explain that
What's up, Corey?
Take care. What's up? You gotta take care.
That's next in the line, Corey. That's next in the line. YouTube channel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but so you're saying they don't really know what they want.
Yeah, they don't. We talked to a young woman last night. Me and Ike counseling her, and we were talking in regards to, about certain things that's going on with her. And Ike asked her the question, what do she like for herself? and she could not answer that question
At all.
That's what I'm saying. It goes right back to what we were just saying.
61% of women you ask, hey, what is it? If I gave you 2 days to do whatever you want to do for 2 straight days, by yourself, not with
nobody else,
by yourself, I guarantee you right now.
And you ain't have to pay for nothing. You still couldn't answer that question.
Yeah. Actually, we talked to a young woman that said the same thing.
Yeah.
She didn't know the first 5 things that she's looking for in a man.
Yeah.
She couldn't define it.
She couldn't.
We had to help her.
Yeah. We had the guy.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of women kind of know what they want, and I think that's an important thing.
What's up, Parkees?
I think, Keys, what's going on, brother?
What's up, Keys?
I think it's an important thing to know what your top needs are. Because that is the most, that's what guides you to finding the man that fits you.
Yeah.
But a lot of women don't go by that that list of what their needs are.
But a lot of women, bro, like from my experience with dating women and stuff, just from period dating women, a lot of women, in my younger days, now I might have did some things that a lot of people might get offended from. And I might have handled some circumstances not the proper way.
That was research. That's all that was. It was research.
Well,
we call it
research.
We was researching then.
Yeah, we were researching. You know what I mean? So
doing field work.
Yeah, doing field work. And when I how can I say this? When I first started, became a single man after my divorce and stuff, I had stipulations on everything from a woman. I wasn't doing this, I wasn't doing that, I wasn't doing this. And what I didn't realize at that particular moment was, even though I was
Briss, what's up, Briss?
Even though I was telling these ladies, what's up, Briss? Even though I was telling these ladies everything that I didn't want, I still wasn't clear enough to, express what was going on with me emotionally on a different level. Telling them, because at that point in time, I wasn't ready to be in no committed relationship situation. You know what I mean? So, a lot of women, they get in these relationships with men and they first meet a man, they say, oh, he's the one. He's this, but they haven't even taken the time to really even research that man and have a conversation with that man on a whole different level and ask the right questions. And what I mean by asking the right questions, you ask this man, hey, when was the last time you were with a woman? Like a long-term relationship. When was the last time you was with a long-term? This is how I interview a woman. Because for me, when I date a woman and she tells me straight up, oh, my last relationship, I was married to a man for X, Y, and Z time. And if I was with this man for a couple years, I've been with this dude 3-4 years, and now all of a sudden, I done met you, and it's only been 6 months, and now you ready to love me? Like, I'm not going to never take you serious as a woman. I will not look at you the same, because I'm going to look at this whole situation, you're not ready for this relationship. Because to me, you haven't even healed from the last relationship you got out of, so how can you really come to me and tell me that you're 100% ready to be in a relationship with me as a man? Because I'm stepping back out of that shell, looking at it from a whole different perspective. And I'm trying to heal you, and I'm trying to make sure my feelings are not getting hurt. But a lot of women, they do what they want to do because they're trying to get over a hurt.
But at the same time, us as men, we do the same thing. Because a lot of times we don't want to pretty much recognize that we need to heal too.
That's my point.
You know what I mean? So we get into relationships when we're not ready.
That's my point. Yeah. That's what I said.
On both sides, women and men.
Exactly. That's what I just said. For me, that's what I said. For me,
I got a question for y'all. Yeah. So he had to pick
Let me finish though.
Yeah, finish that thought. Yeah.
Before I forget. But for me, that's the whole, process that I had to learn to get me to where I'm at now. Because at that point, when I was 32 years old, 33 years old, I wasn't handling dating a woman the proper way. You know what I'm saying? I was moving, like I was, how they say you're running from God? I was running from God at that point. I was running because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, you know what? I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing because I just got out of my divorce. I ain't trying to go through this hurt again. I ain't trying to deal with this foolishness again.
So let me ask you something. do you believe?
And that's
What is the amount of time that you think it takes for someone to heal from a relationship? Do you believe it's 6 months? Do y'all think it's a year, 2 years?
It depends.
Or does it depend on how long you were in that relationship?
Well, the thing is, for me, man, like for me, I feel like truly to heal, I think you need to really check your mental out.
I'm not talking about that time, but I'm saying because I'm going to give you an example. I know you have met women that just fresh out of a relationship, and they'll tell you straight up, hey, I was in a relationship 6 months ago. I was with him 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm completely over it. Do you believe, would you date a woman that's 6 months out of a relationship?
I'm not going to take her serious.
Okay.
I will not take her serious. Would you take her serious?
I got a question for y'all.
No, but
answer the question.
She's been in a relationship.
No, when she was in a long-term relationship.
5 years.
5 years.
Let me tell you this real quick. Studies show if you've been in a long committed relationship, 5-10 years, it takes you X amount of time to get over that relationship because it's like a death. It's like you're mourning the other person.
But I say this to add on to that.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's different for men and women because women, a lot of times they're already in their healing process while they're in a relationship because they already mentally and spiritually broken up with you. Why they already prepared themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already in the process of healing. Men, it takes them a little bit longer because of our ego, first of all. Mm-hmm. It gets in the way of us truly healing. But females, I think it takes a little bit less time. For men, I think it takes longer.
I think it takes both parties longer. If you really,
I think it takes long.
You got to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
How many times they done broke up with the next person? They done jumped to the next relationship, Calvin.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You're bringing baggage from you picking up this garbage bag from one relationship. You're picking up the next garbage bag from the next relationship. You might have got over the damn shit in the initial relationship, the initial situation, but that don't mean you over it. Everybody put mask on, bro. Yeah. And they don't necessarily heal from the last situation because I've done that, bro. I thought I was over certain things in a relationship, and then I get in and it took through 2 years I ain't been with a girl, in no committed relationship, and then you start finding yourself comparing certain situations that you experienced from your past situation and got into that new situation, and now you stirring that whole pot up and getting right back into something that you done experienced from the last time because you never did the proper healing. And what I mean by that is going to get counseling, get your mental right.
Hey, what's going on, D? So I got a question for both of y'all.
Sure.
What are the top 2 things for you? A reason why a woman can't keep or find?
And like like Janelle said, it's a Band-Aid. You're not really having.
What's your top 2?
You know what I'm saying? You're not really healing because it's a Band-Aid. You're covering it up.
When I ask that question, you tell that.
All right. So my question to these fine gentlemen is, what are your top 2 reasons why a woman can't keep or find a good man? If you had to pick only 2. 2 things.
I'm gonna start off with one. I believe.
I got my barber I got my barber, best female barber, boy.
Shout out. Who is she?
Kimmy Cuts. Kimmy, what's up, girl?
Yeah, right.
She be lining her brother up all the time, and she's good.
I don't know about lining yet because you ain't got no help.
Well, she lined up that beard, my brother.
She showed you that blade good because your head shining, boy. She did a good job.
Nah, I did that myself, baby.
You did that?
Yeah, no, I did that myself, brother.
Boy, you did a good job. Ball is not easy, man.
What was your one? You said out of your 2, your first one was what? Why a woman can't keep or find a good man?
Find a good man and keep.
Keep. Well, yeah.
I said it earlier. I believe, and this is just my belief, that women haven't truly defined what their needs are. I think that's one thing, because I can only speak from. I'm going to speak from a man's point of view, and I think they kind of correlate the same. You know what I mean? When I was looking for a good woman, per se, I didn't have it truly defined what I was looking for. It was more on the lines of
did she look good?
How she looks, instead of what her characteristics were.
And how she thought.
And what I needed as far as a partner, as far as what I was lacking and what that other person can bring so I can learn from it. You understand where I'm coming from with that?
I got you.
And I think women are not doing that. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them are not.
Well, a lot of women, in my opinion, these days, they don't even take the time to really, because at the end of the day, a lot of men takes a little more time to get to a certain point in their lives to recognize certain things.
Oh yeah.
And everybody want that instant gratification of, hey, he's supposed to be already knowing this stuff, and it's like, no. He has to develop and research and everything. When you're building something great, you just can't put it together like that. When you're building something great, you can't just can't put it together. You know what I mean? You can't just put it together like bam like that. That instant gratification will never get you to where you want to be at in a relationship.
So basically what the brother is saying, if you're going to build a relationship, treat it like a house. Find a location. Find yourself an architect. Start building it. Take piece by piece. Know what your design is. I'm not saying that you're going to get everything you want, but know what you want.
Go ahead, Miss Phillips. You're right. She basically said you can't begin to know what you need from someone else if you don't know what you need from yourself.
That's right.
Talking about earlier. Like,
yeah.
Ask a young lady like, "Hey, I gave you 2 days. We're gonna pay for everything."
Yeah.
Joe couldn't figure out what you want to do.
Yeah. I think it's dating nowadays is difficult anyway. All
it's hard.
around, it's very difficult.
Yeah, because you don't know who's
especially for educated people, and also women that got children. So and single fathers also. It's difficult. It's not easy
because you got to be careful these days with who you have. Well, that's another subject, but you just got to be careful on who you bring around your kids and all of that stuff. Yep. So, but back to the main topic.
So the question was, what was your answer to that question as far as one of the things that you think why it's so difficult for women to find good men and also to keep them?
Well, like I was saying earlier, it's hard for a woman to actually find a good man because they're not actually at a process of knowing what a good man is. They don't know what a good man is.
So you're saying all women?
I'm not saying all, but a lot of women who are in certain situations or whatever, they don't know what a good man is. They don't know. They can have a guy can be doing 10 things. This thing, a guy can have. They have 10 things of a woman. They have 10 different things that a man needs to do. The man will do 8 of those things, and at the end of the day, that's still not good enough. So it's like, well, how can you expect to have someone, but this man is completing you in all the other areas, all the other areas. So those 2 things that he's lacking, which you can, with a good woman behind him, a good man will go ahead and define that role and take care of that role. So that's the way I perceive that.
So basically, you're saying the major problem is a lot of women just when they see a good man, they don't even recognize him anyway.
They don't recognize him. How can they recognize a good man? They don't know themselves what a good man is because they're not a man. They don't know how a man think. They don't know what a man do. All they got is what Real Housewives of Atlanta men do. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you're saying their definition of a good man, it comes from outside themselves. They really haven't defined what a good man is for them.
They haven't defined what a good man is for them.
So let me ask you: do you think it's a good idea that single women get counsel from other single women about?
Hell no. What they go? How the hell they gonna tell you? Now you know, bro. Hey, that's a whole new subject, brother.
No, but that's a part of it.
No, but I know. But I'm just saying
that is a part of the main reason I think a lot of them can't keep a good man and also can't find
a good man, yeah.
Because they're listening to women
that don't have a clue.
Don't have a clue about what a good man is.
And here's the thing. They're listening to women who don't have a clue or
never been married, don't have kids, or whatever. Yeah.
None of that stuff. So now, and you know what the thing is? The friends that they listening to, they men only last probably a week or 2. Hell, you be like, well, damn, you done went on 5 dates in the last 2 months. What happened? They can't even tell you what happened. Those same friends, and half those same friends want you to be in that same position that they are in too. Would you agree?
Of course, misery love company.
Yeah,
they want you to be there.
Social media.
So you know, at the end of the day, bro, it's crazy.
But I see more of that happening than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I see a lot of people taking advice from, you know,
Negative people.
Negative energy people.
Negative energy. Because, you know, like a lot of people don't understand, but we all run on vibrations. And if we have that negative vibe out there, that negative energy, it's going to connect to you if you're subjecting yourself around people like that.
Well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Energy is very important. Frequency is very important. It's all around us. So, what do you think, Ike?
I got 3 basic concepts, and I learned this from listening like Tony Robbins, Alonzo Calhoun. Mm-hmm. So shout out to those guys, great men. But it's the thing that I see with women, they make the mistakes when they're looking for a man, but when they get a good man, the 3 mistakes they make is they don't know how to appreciate that man, sex, and respect.
Respect is the number one thing, though, in my eyes, because at the end of the day, that's all a man is. Men are basic. We
Very basic.
We don't have
appreciation, sex.
We
respect.
don't have a list of 100 things that you need to do to keep us. And that's this is a very sad situation, because especially in the black community, it's like, yo, you guys are not even paying attention to what they're trying to do to our families.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's okay.
We're being attacked from so many different corners,
bro. We're being attacked on a whole different level, and it's just like
it's Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we are being attacked, and we're just being, you know, blinded by being attacked, you know, and it's just crazy. It says, hey,
you know, the big turnoff what I see with good men who end up with a woman that's really
okay,
into
Janelle,
them.
you kind of right.
They're trying to be too masculine. When a woman's too masculine, that's a turnoff for a good man.
Well, that's true. But I'm going to go, Janelle said, she said that's not true. Any single person, one who has learned from an experience, can talk to and tell another single person. But Janelle, what I was saying is, if they haven't been in a relationship, period, not if they have experience, but half those single people that we're talking about are, we're saying more so that, you know what, they're negative.
And another thing is, I agree with you, but how can you get counsel for someone how to find a good man? They haven't found one themselves.
That's true.
They can't give you the blueprint.
No.
They haven't figured it out yet.
Exactly.
So it's like, all right, I understand. Now, if your mate is being counseled by someone that's been married 50 years,
and yeah,
they can pretty much tell you what a good husband is supposed to be, or how a good man or good wife is supposed to be.
Yeah, bro.
But you can't get counsel from a woman just because she's been in a relationship to counsel you on how to find a good man. No.
If that was the case, you know, the women outnumber men, y'all won't be talking about this if y'all knew y'all had the formula. This is why we here.
I wouldn't dare take counsel from anybody that have not been in a successful relationship or not, that's not in one. It just don't make sense to me. It's like, okay,
how can you help me?
Yeah, how can you help me? You haven't figured it out yet.
Yep.
But you want me to take counsel from you.
Exactly.
So what they basically saying is, if you want to learn about investing, are you going to go to the poorest man on the block? Or are you going to go to the man who's doing it, who's making it?
You're going to go to Warren Buffett.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
That's why I would go to. I want to find Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
For real.
Hey, give me the formula.
Yeah, I want that formula because I want it to be a successful relationship.
Okay, so I'm going to interject. My uncle said I'm going to interject my age and my life experience into the subject and ask, how are you guys defining a good man? Well, we kind of broke it down, Uncle, a little earlier ago. But everybody, as far as a good man in my eyes, as far as me, I feel like, hey, at the end of the day, if I'm taking care of my family.
I agree with you, too. Go ahead.
If I'm taking care of my family, I'm not out here running around. I'm taking care of the household. I'm helping out. Even when I'm not home and I get home, I'm helping out around the house. I'm trying to take the load off her, and I'm listening to her. And to me, that's basic stuff as far as being a good man. Like just to showing your woman that you appreciate her. Going to going to different, if your woman wanted to do something that you're uncomfortable with, but you're taking that time out to do that, and you're acknowledging it, even though you might feel uncomfortable to do it, but you're doing it anyway. That defines, to me, somebody that's trying. You know, he might not have everything figured out, but he's willing to try. And a lot of men some days don't want to try, but if you got a man that's willing to try and work with you, that's somebody you can build something with. Because a lot of men out here don't want to work with you. Would you agree or not?
Yeah.
If you got somebody that's willing to put in some effort and put in some work with you, you can build anything. You can build that house, that dream house that you want. And the dream house is you as a couple. You know what I mean? So you can build whatever dreams you got going on if you are willing to define yourself and educate yourself and go ahead and do some stuff that you are not, you know, normally comfortable with, but hey, that man might be willing to do that with you.
So what defines a good man? Like,
Yeah, what defines a good man to you?
Let me say this to you, I apologize to your humility. You know, and knowing
That's number one, yeah. Humility.
to humble yourself.
That is.
Like, I made a mistake and I came in wrong, and I was totally wrong. Disrespectful. So, you know, what makes a good man is someone who's humble, who's consistent,
Okay.
treats their woman with dignity and respect, treat themselves with dignity and respect, but who's able to be vulnerable. You know, not just with themselves, but with their friends. And, you know, sit around and be like, hey, here's some of the things I'm going through. And got a council of kings around them where they can get solid advice.
Solid advice.
Where you getting your advice from?
That's right. That's right. I truly believe.
That's deep.
What's that?
She said, Barbara told me, a good man is someone who will actually pray for the relationship instead of arguing. That's pretty deep, because at the end of the day, spiritually, having your mind spiritually cleared and meditating with your woman or praying with your woman, that definitely is somebody, because a lot of men don't want to do that. So, hey, that is something deep, you know what I mean? Like a good man, far as, you know, sitting down and, you know what, like Ike said, humbling himself and saying, you know what, babe, let's get on our knees and pray for our relationship. Let's pray for our marriage. Let's pray for these kids. Let's just meditate today. Let's sit down here and, you know, put in some what is that? What yoga?
Yoga. Hey, so check this out. Shout out to the kings. What makes a good man? Like Sunday, a group of us real kings got together to help out a young king, and you know, besides just working out, we meditated. We did yoga nidra. It's so many different ways to work out yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, socially. You gotta find what sharpens you. And what we're talking about today is why women can't keep those qualities that we just talked about. You have a man who has everything. He's humble. He's respectful.
He busted his behind.
Yes, pays all the thing, does everything, but yet you can't. Is it? I'll always look at one or two things. Like physical, you know, she don't got them good. Hey, that's just my opinion.
Or she's complaining a lot.
Nagging. God, dog. You know what? Someone who's nagging, Lord, take a look. You third world versus first world. Like the stuff you're complaining about. Come on, take a look at your friends. Look how miserable they are by themselves.
So what can women do that you guys? Oh, better yet, because I think men like us, we extend ourselves right? to kind of prove that we are worthy and we are good men. Yeah, we do it a lot. I know I do.
I do it too, bro. And you know why I think we did that too? Because we didn't grow up with our fathers.
So it's very important for us to be the best man we possibly can be.
Yes, because
I know for me it's very important,
bro. It's very important for me.
And I love, God bless the dead. My father now is with the Egoons. That I don't want to be like he was. So I get 300 feet away from that type of character. As far as me being like him. So I every single day I try to improve on who I am as a man. Every single day.
Now, and that's the same thing too as me, bro. You know that about me. I tell you every day what I'm trying to do. Yeah, self-improvement. We talk about this all the time. Self-improvement. I
meditate every day.
Me too, bro. I tell Ike all the time. You know what I'm saying? Ike know that about me. I'm always trying to be the better version of myself. And I take pride in that because I've always been someone that's, want to be better than the day before.
So, not to cut you off, but let me ask you this. As much as we do to try to improve ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. The women that's out there that's trying to find a good man, do you think they need to take a class on relationships, join groups to try to be more informative about how relationship works, how to stay in a healthy relationship? Because I think
thanks, Unc.
That information, but I think more people need to do that, even when they're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Get around other healthy relationships and learn more about how you can improve your relationship. I also think that's the same when it comes to single people trying to get into relationships.
Yes. And you hit a good point, bro. Like for me, like I was saying earlier, like now more than ever, man, like, a lot of people need to recognize mental health is huge. Like, women, men, like you guys need to really start.
To my hate spongers.
What's up? Hey, we really need to start like digging deep into our mental health because some of us ain't ready to be in no relationship. We can't give that person what they need because we're still damaged from the previous situation. So in order for us to move forward in our relationships with the next person, we have to handle the chaos we had from the previous situation.
And Serene, you made a good point. She said self-improvement is the best gift that you can give someone. I definitely agree with you. And that is the top thing, But we're still talking about how can women keep a good man?
Well, the first thing is
how can we find them?
Because I'm telling you the book. I'm laying it down. First of all, they need to properly heal from the previous situation. Mm-hmm. You can't bring baggage or a big garbage bag with you to the next situation. Mm-hmm. The second thing is, spiritual, like we were just talking. You got to get with somebody who's willing to sit down on his knees and pray with you, meditate with you, do all of those things.
Read, self-improvement books, all kind of stuff.
And the next thing, forgiving people for mistakes that they made, because a lot of women will hold on to that old stuff and passed up on the good stuff because they still back 4 years ago on some old stuff.
They basically penalize men.
They're sabotaging themselves for
They're sabotaging the whole relationship.
They sabotage. They self-sabotaging. Because sometimes what'll happen is you'll get with somebody that's good and treating you well.
And he might do one thing that reminds you of the last man.
He might do one thing, or she don't even know how to receive that love. Mm-hmm. I done had somebody tell me they don't know how to receive love. And I'm like, wow, how do you not know how to? I'm showing you love, but you don't know how to receive love. So that's a big like, wow, you don't know how to receive love. So, you will have a situation going on, and a lot of women, they don't know how. A good man will come along, and he's trying to, do all these nice things, and he's there for you, talking to you, relating to you. He's rubbing your back, he's rubbing your feet, he's doing everything. And you know what they'll do? Oh, hell nah.
Something ain't right. Something ain't right. He's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing every single thing.
He doing right. Something ain't right.
Something ain't right.
He take me out to dinner.
Let me see your phone, nigga.
Yeah, let me see your phone.
Let me see your phone.
Let me see your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of women do that. And you know what we need to do? Like I said, a lot of women don't even know how to compromise yet. And that's a big deal. You need to compromise with your man.
That list that you're talking about, I think that also goes for men.
It goes for both parties. It goes for everybody. But we're talking about women right now. Because
a lot of times they meet good men, they're just not ready either.
Well, that's a whole different topic right now. But we're talking about
they met a good man.
Yeah, he's a good man, but
I want to talk about what he said about the past.
Yeah,
hold on to the past. Women, listen to what I'm about to say. If you are stuck on a past, you are not blessed to be in my present. If you are going by the stuff I did,
that's a good point.
Like that's what made
me a good man.
Yes, we're out in the field. What you said earlier, a scientist field experiment.
Yeah.
Field work, right? And so the things that I did 25 years ago, like right now, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. But you're right. Say that again. If you stuck on my past,
you're not
blessed enough to be right here in my present. That's a beautiful.
Because what a lot of people do is hold us to our past. And that's not fair.
It's not right.
That's not right. Because at the
And
same
you'll
time,
lose a good man over that.
Every single time.
because that man might have
every single time you will lose
I
a
didn't mean
good
a
man
point,
based on
lady.
that.
So
But
it's true though.
Because at this point in time, you will have a situation where this man is really defining who he is now. He done came into his own, and now she can't even like, hold up, what's going on? You did this 10 years ago. Why did you do this to me? And it's like, hold up.
Oh,
baby.
that's a good point.
Hold up, baby. I done moved past that.
Yeah.
Are you gonna forgive me from that situation? And a lot of times it's no. They hold on to those things.
And Chanel made a good point. She said compromise has been accepted as a possible ride or die for some men, and for these men, they won't change. Basically, she's saying like, you know, a lot of men expect women to be ride or die, you know, but they won't change.
Listen,
you know?
we ain't talking about those men though. We're talking about a good man. See, you hitting the wrong.
This is why women are having problems now. We told you what the topic is. All right.
Yeah.
Why you can't find / keep a good man. We're not talking about them sorry behind. There's a lot of them out there, but we're saying the good ones. Whether you can't find them or keep them.
By. And the thing is, you know, like you having you know, at the end of the day,
young men do the same. We do.
We do
the same.
At the end of the day, you got to be willing to compromise. Anybody has to be willing to compromise. And compromising mean like, hey, listening to your man or whatever, and taking his advice from time to time.
And James made a good point too. James said the past is only an issue if it's in your presence. If it's in your present, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And that's a good point. If you're still repeating the same things you've been doing in the past, absolutely, it's a problem right now in the present. And a lot of times, that's what happens. So, you know.
But you gotta at the end of the day, you gotta take time to self-reflect. And when I say healing, that don't mean going out smoking and clubbing and all of that. That's just being you taking your time to yourself, and you're learning more about yourself so you can be a better version of yourself. And that's how you properly heal. You go to counseling. You learn different things about yourself. You do what you need to do to grow as an individual. And self-improvement always is a great thing. Like, I love self-improvement, bro. Like, I learn something new about myself every day, you know? So I just feel like, you know, we can all, men and women, step up and, you know, really, you know, define what a good man or woman is. You know what I mean? And instead of sitting up here just dogging somebody out because they might have did something crazy
3 years ago, 5 years ago, you still holding on to it.
Yeah. And that person is not even that same person they were 3 or 4 years ago. So at this point in time, it's like, hey.
So are we talking about if a man did something wrong,
man or woman?
No, anyone in the relationship that they're currently in, that they're holding a grudge still? Or are we talking about if a woman gets with a man and she hears about his past?
Both.
That she's holding him.
Because
that happens
all the time. Because what's going to happen is...
Oh, I heard that you used to be a, you know, this guy the third.
Bro, I done heard that.
You slept with her, like...
Bro,
really?
That's just a lot of insecurities, bro.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's insecurities because at the end of the day, that's not who I am now. So if you're going to allow somebody to get in your head, them same people that's getting in your head trying to get at me.
So let me ask you something. Do you think women have a unreasonable expectations for men?
Say that again now.
Do you think that expectations for men is just too high?
Yes. And the bar is set so high, especially the greater you are as a person. Because let me tell you, you know, that expectation might not be the same for a certain type of man. But when a woman runs into a man that they see has all the potential, like a man like yourself, a woman run into you and they see that, hey, you got all these, you know, opportunities with you. The expectation is on a whole different planet with you. Not with the next man. It's going to be based off of individual, bro. Because when they look at you as an individual, they're going to hold you to a whole different level compared to somebody else who doesn't have the same kind of credentials as yourself, who don't treat, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm trying to say. A person basically...
Facts.
A person basically, you know, they look at you and they have a certain idea in their head on how you carry yourself, your character. So your expectation is on a different planet. But with a dude that's on that a less value type of man, we're gonna put it like that.
So the bar is raised compared to what that individual they think their potential is.
Yeah, because this is based off of the type of men you're dating. Because if you're dating a less value man, and I find myself to be a high value man, I'm pretty sure you're a high value man, you're a high value man. So the marketplace is a little different for somebody who has high value. So the expectation is a lot greater for someone that's a high value man compared to somebody at this level.
But that's a very good point.
You know what I mean? Because at the level of this, a woman gonna hold that person. They gonna expect him to do that. They gonna expect him to be a fuck up.
But you know what's crazy to me is that soon as a woman get a good man, right?
Okay.
And he's doing everything he's supposed to do, paying the bills. You know, he's being compassionate. He's being understanding. But soon as they see, oh well, he's you know, I think he may be too soft. You know,
yeah.
he's not rough enough, or you know what I mean. They find something
to not want to date you.
Yeah,
to sabotage the relationship.
Sabotage the relationship every single time. It's like, okay, this man is doing all these other things, but he's not a bad boy. He's not a thug. You know what I mean? They want a man to be every single thing, everything. Yeah. They want him to be the plumber. They want him to be They want him to be everything.
But let me
at one time.
Yes, that's what I was telling you earlier.
They want us to be everything.
That's what I was saying earlier.
That's exactly what you're saying.
Remember when I was saying, hey, we gotta be 7 different personalities and
we gotta be everything.
It's like, well, damn, I only can be me. Yeah. But damn, I can't be Super Negro the next day
and be Jesus the next day.
Yeah, like, hey, you know, damn, give me, hey, I can't go to work and take all the stress off. I gotta clear my mind, get my mind right, and do all of this stuff. And
that's not to say that women don't feel that same stress, because I know y'all do. You feel like you may have to be, 10 different people for us sometimes, but you really don't.
Nah,
because we're simple.
We want 3 things.
We're simple.
We want 3 things, and the main thing for a lot of men is respect and appreciation, and that's simple. That's simple, and that's how you could keep building relationships up, man. Because everybody nowadays, everybody is in this instant gratification. You know, ever since Facebook, YouTube, everybody can get in contact with people now. So, hey, everybody's in an instant gratification kind of world now. So everybody these days, hey, you know what? He don't have what I need for now. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call Jack. Hey. I'm going to holler at Jack right now and talk to Jack.
Serene said, women just want to feel safe with whom they're with. Okay. That's the only thing. I don't think that's all y'all want.
No. Well, a lot of women, here's the deal.
I think that's part of it.
A lot of women, the funny thing is y'all want to feel safe. But do y'all make a man feel comfortable to make you safe? Because at the same time, we got to be comfortable to make, we got to feel safe too. Because at the end of the day, we got a lot to, we get, in bad situations as well. So, hey, at the same time, that works both ways. We both got to be comfortable, men and women. We want to feel safe too. Because, I don't want to just give up you. Hey, I have a kid with you now paying all this money in child support. So I want to feel safe too. I don't want to be, in those situations. I get divorced now. I got to come out with all this money out of my pocket.
And you know what else? I think another problem is a lot of women try to chase that alpha male. Which all of them seem like they chase that alpha male. And sometimes that alpha male is just not in the mindset of being in a monogamous relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So they get themselves in trouble by trying to chase a man that everybody else wants. Sometimes a good man can be, not the most attractive man.
So a blue pill dude.
He could be a blue pill man.
A blue pill.
But there's nothing wrong with that. But
I guess there ain't nothing wrong with it, but it depends on.
We feel different because we're not blue pill men. It's different.
Yeah, it's
but
different.
I'm saying, we're talking about good men.
Okay.
We're not talking about a blue pill man
or a red pill man. Yeah.
We're just talking about a good man, period. And a lot of times, that is a big issue.
I had a question from Europe.
Okay.
It said, do you think that's why younger women like older men? Because of the things we're talking about right now? Is it an age thing? I guess that's what they're asking.
Well, I think that is a maturity thing. A lot of men at that 30 years old are. You got to remember, you know, a lot of women are a lot more mature than men.
Tiffany.
A lot more women are a lot more mature than a man at the same age. So she gonna get that. She wants her brain to be fed. So at the same time, a young man, unless he's really done took the time to know himself, he's not going to probably know how to communicate with that young woman. You know, on that level that she wants.
That's why we see a lot of older guys with younger chicks.
Mm-hmm. You made a good point.
What's that?
The point is that as a human, you attract what you project. The law of physics applies to everyone.
Well, that's the law of attraction. At the end of the day, we were just talking about
true.
energy.
Yeah. We spoke about that earlier, about the kind of frequency that you keep is what you're going to pull to you. Yeah. So if you keep good energy on you, you'll definitely find it. But you must also be informed about what you want.
That means self-evaluating yourself.
Exactly. The first step is to find out what you want, what you need. Not what you want. Sorry.
What you need.
What you need. Find that out. What your needs are.
Yeah.
You know?
And
you do that, that's the start.
And at the same time, a lot of men are not mind readers too. So you can't expect a man, if you got a man and you just need to talk to him and let him know what you need, and maybe he can balance that out and help you out. Because a lot of women think that a man is supposed to already know what the woman wants.
Coop, this coming to you from Dallas, Texas. Should a woman compromise her happiness for the success of the relationship?
Say that again?
Should a woman compromise her happiness for the success of a relationship?
No, we're not saying that. No, we're not saying
absolutely
that.
Not.
All we're saying is...
Absolutely not.
All we're saying is if you have a high value man and he's treating you good and he's willing to work on certain circumstances that is hindering the relationship, I don't see a problem with trying to see what it can go at from that point forward.
James said, y'all need to set up a phone line so people can call in.
Oh, that's what it works.
You're right. We're going to do that too, bro.
Well, yeah, that's, at the end of the day, man, nobody should compromise happiness, but happiness comes within ourselves. So in order to be happy, you got to make yourself happy first before anybody else can kind of come along and help expand that happiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So Mimi said, guys, speak with women. They'll tell you what they want.
I don't spoke to plenty of women, Mimi.
Yeah.
Mimi.
We speak to women all the time.
They don't know.
A lot of them don't know what they need.
What they need.
They don't know.
They don't even know.
I'm not saying all of them.
They don't know how to articulate it.
Yeah. You know what? That could be what it is. They know what they feel.
Yeah, but feelings change day to day.
Yeah, and that's probably what's confusing them.
Yeah.
Is because they're going off their feelings compared to what their needs are.
Yeah.
That is.
Because feelings change on a daily basis, man. We be mad at somebody one minute and the next minute, damn, I love that person. So at the end of the day, we gotta start digging deeper into the relationship portion of, whatever type of relationship you want to have, because attitude makes a huge difference on what type of relationship you have with your man. Now, if you got a sucky attitude with your man, more than likely you're gonna have a sucky relationship with your man. So think about it. Change your attitude, and you can, really take heed to having a successful relationship. Because attitude goes a long way in a relationship, especially with a man. A man will be like, well, damn, okay. Like, this person really, damn, they really love me, for real.
Mm-hmm. And Chanel says all about discipline. It is.
It's self-discipline?
It is all about self-discipline. And James was saying, he check himself in the mirror several times a day.
We all do.
We all do. And that's important to do.
Yeah.
It is important. Self-evaluation is very important. Especially when you're trying to find yourself and home, what you say? No, they all coming in right now. You may be right. We may need to get a phone, bro.
Hey, that self-reflection is so important.
It's deep, bro.
And one of the biggest things that I see with women when they have a good man, you can almost tell if it's going to work or not.
You're right, Sunday. Two strong minds won't ever work without compromising. Oh, yeah. Like, if you got two people...
I agree with you on that.
Yeah, too strong. Thank you, Sunday, for the comment. Man, we actually, at the end of the day, we all can be great. We all can have great relationships. We all can, do great things in a relationship. And ladies, you guys have a choice. Everybody has a choice in the relationship. You can either have a good relationship or you can have a bad relationship. But it's up to you as far as the choice that you want in your relationship. So all I can say is, make a good choice on what type of relationship you want, what type of man you want, and all of that. Because at the end of the day, you got to deal with him. And he going to have to deal with you. Yep. And it's all about them choices that we make.
But yeah. So, we're about tied up. We're about done now, huh?
Well, now we can go on, bro. We can go on and on if you want.
Well, let me get
remember
let me
three
get my
things,
charge. I'll be
man.
back.
Appreciate
Excuse
him.
me, guys.
Respect them. And I'll tell you, one of the main things what I see when a woman holds sex back, I don't care how good that man is. Like for most men, it's just they need that physical connection. And I can say 70% of men need that physical connection. And once a man feels appreciated, he feels respected, and so he ain't going nowhere. So, the topic is, how do you keep or how do you find a good man? By appreciating the men that are in your life. And showing them that, one, you understand what it takes to keep a good man, but you are a good woman. If you're not a queen or a goddess, hey, listen, it's kind of hard.
It definitely is hard. Because at the end of the day, we all have to, strive to be the best versions of ourselves. So if you expect your man to be growing as a person, you need to be growing as a person. So at the end of the day, if that's what you expect, that's what you need to do too. It's all about the same. So only thing I could tell you guys is like, hey, let's grow with your partners. Grow, help. If you want to keep your man happy and all of that, your man, all you got to do for your man is to be successful is to do what you need to do. And that's help him self-improve. And just give your man a compliment. Because when you give your man a compliment, he going to feel like he's on the Empire State Building. He's going to be feeling like he's on top of the world, So at the end of the day, let's grow. Let's do things. Let's make things happen. Let's do this.
What's on top of my mind? Yeah. That you sat down and sat next to me. With women, when you get a good man and he comes into your life, you need to understand the difference between being buried and being planted. Mm-hmm. There are certain men. We talked about building a foundation. There are certain men. You understand when a man comes into your life and you've been hurt. Some women look at, I've been buried in all this pain and this and that, and this other man is like, I see the pain that you've been through, but hey, let me feed you. Let me get you out of that place. Let's grow together. I understand your hurts. Communicate. Compromise. Humble yourself. Say, yes, I've been hurt.
But there's a lot of women these days can't compromise because of the circumstances of, today's age and women. Everybody, they're prideful now. Women are more prideful than men now. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Women have more pride issues than men nowadays.
You're right.
Oh, I'm an independent woman. I can conquer the world by myself. But and a lot of women, at the end of the day, can conquer a lot of different things and define are amazing. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, allow that humbleness to guide you a little. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Just take a step back and say, you know what? I'm not going to be all cocky and independent and all of that stuff because like Ike was saying earlier, everybody is so masculine now. No man don't want a woman that wearing the damn pants in the same house now.
That's what's a lot of that's what's going on right now. But
masculine and feminine energy.
Yes, but why is that? What's the reason for that happening?
Because society now.
Not just a lot of the women, and I'm speaking about specifically women of color, had to take on those roles as men as far as masculine energy because a lot of the men were removed from the family. So they had to take on both masculine and feminine energy. And a lot of times what happens is as soon as they get around an alpha male, it gets combative. You know what I mean? Now they're fighting because now the woman that had to take on that energy doesn't know how to release it and set it down. Okay, let me take my place as a queen now. I have a king in my presence. Let me do that. And a lot of them can't. It's hard for them to do that.
When I'm looking at a relationship and I see a woman embracing her feminine side, they're laughing.
Oh, yeah.
They ain't worried about who's gonna kick in the door because they know they got a king that's gonna be like, all right, I wish someone would kick in that door. I got you, baby. Or they hear something bumping in it. It's not the woman running downstairs. It's hey, step up. I got this. You may want to call the police after I'm done for them. But at the end of the day, when I see a woman that's embracing her feminine side, she's laughing, she's joking, she letting her hair down. You can see that they don't have to be all. Man, no. Who wants to be around a woman that's all yoked up?
Like she ready to go toe to toe with you.
Like come on.
But you see that a lot though. I mean, you see it a lot, especially women that's educated. They take on this energy as I don't need a man.
Yeah,
I want one.
But that type of attitude, you ain't gonna never get a man.
You will never get a man. But still, like I said, it's it's a lot of compromising, man.
But so we got Kimberly. She says alpha females knows when to submit to an alpha mature
No,
male.
they should know.
But a lot of women ain't even alphas though. Like,
well, I'm not gonna say
they dominate, but I'm just saying
there's a such thing as an alpha female.
Well, I understand that, but at the same time, a lot of them don't know how to allow an alpha male in the room.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. A lot of them don't know. Hey, they want to always control the situation, the narrative of the whole situation. So I hear you, sis, but at the end of the day, a lot of these women who are alpha females don't know how to let go of the reins, to take a step back for that alpha male to dominate the path that you guys can take together.
And real talk, when a real alpha male walks in, an alpha female will recognize that alpha male and she'll fall into place. I don't need to come into a room and be like, hey, well, if you gotta announce yourself.
Miss Warren said, how does a woman relinquish what has been forced upon them? As far as them having to take on that energy. You know what I mean?
How do they allow that to happen?
No. How can they release it? Like they got to,
Well,
I think men have to be more patient in some of those situations too, because a lot of times you'll see brothers like us. We get around a strong alpha male, and we don't want to deal with that energy of trying to pretty much, I don't want to say put them in their place, but guide them to the seat of being a queen. We don't want to deal with it. Instead, we'll go over here to another race or go to another, you know what I mean? Because it's more, you don't have to deal with that fight or struggle.
Gotcha.
So a lot of men walk away from it.
Yeah, you're right.
So a lot of times that happened too, So I think patience is one of the things that us as men need to take on, especially when we're dealing with women that had to take on that masculine energy for a very long time.
And to answer that question, I think it's vitally important what she brought up about, how we seek out women who wanna change, and we take the time to sit down with them and say, all right, what is it that you want to change? You got to be able to identify what's in you, and identify like, hey, you know what? I see these teams over here. They got their stuff together. Hey, let me have a conversation with y'all. Can I ask y'all a question? A lot of females, they talk about pride. Pride being, their pride is so high, they can't take a step back and be like, hey, you know what, brother, can I ask you a question? You got a minute? What's wrong with that?
And the thing is, too, though, allow yourself to acknowledge, like when we were talking about humility, apologize from time to time.
Who?
Women.
Or women?
Women don't apologize enough. A lot of women just feel prideful in allowing, you know what, I'm not going to say I'm sorry about nothing. You know what I mean? And sometimes apology will go a long way, to sustain your relationship, to help it. You know what I mean? And sometimes, like they say, what's that old saying? Say, you just gotta, sometimes agree to disagree on a certain situation. You might be right, but sometimes, hey, if you got a male, you don't want to embarrass him and make him feel low at the end of the, like he dumb or something. So sometimes you got to agree to disagree, So at the end of the day, you're not disrespecting your man or you're not disrespecting that other individual. And that works on both ends, So that's pretty, like, man, we can go on and on about this subject, right?
Absolutely. So, all right, what else you think, brother? Out of all those things, what else you think?
Oh, damn.
In your experience.
Shanika said, hold on real quick.
Hold on, we got somebody.
Yeah, she said women need to stop competing with each other and help each other grow and elevate in life. Go ahead. That's awesome.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah,
Thanks, Sunday.
We got a group on Facebook called Real Queens that's on Facebook. Hey, check them out. And going back to your question, what are some of the things that I see in my travels? And Miss Canada just hit me up, and one of the things she wanted to ask is there a difference with American men being good men? Like what concept is that universal? What we're talking about?
Universal, I think.
I think it's probably universal.
Yeah.
I would think
yeah, especially Canada. Yeah, I would say it's universal.
Yeah, a good man, But then again, it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can go in some hoods, right? And you can find a young woman that she believes
that she got a good man.
And he may not even have a job.
You right on spot.
Listen, I didn't say it. I was not going to say it.
But for him, he may be cooking, picking up the kids, and for her, that's good enough.
Yeah. But then you might have the opposite. He might be doing all of that, and that's still not good enough for her. And he might have a job. He might do all of that.
It depends on her. A lot of it has to do with what your needs are.
Well,
because, bro, you think about it. I know so many dudes, I'm talking about good men, that's with women, and they do everything, bro. And they still walk away. They still cheat. So I don't think it has everything to do with what we think a good man is. I think it's all individually. It's on that individual of what they feel their needs are. Some of them, or they just haven't defined it. It's very puzzling to me.
Well, a lot of women these days are. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Maybe some people are gonna be mad at me, but a lot of women are just okay with mediocrity, being mediocre, having a mediocre man.
But
their standards are low. Their self-esteem is low.
Their standards are low, bro.
But every man can't meet that bar.
But still,
every man is not a lawyer.
It ain't about being a lawyer.
Some of them are cooks.
No, but I'm just saying what I'm saying is not about being an attorney or
but you're saying
it's good to you.
You're saying there's standards. Some people think being a cook at fucking IHOP for them is great. So I can't say that maybe their standards are low. I just believe that they haven't truly defined what their needs are, because every man can't be all the way up here.
Of course not. But what I'm saying is,
so if every woman is looking for a man like us, they're gonna have a hard time.
But at the same time, what I'm saying is, a lot of women accept a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Well, if you're okay with accepting stuff, you're gonna be in the same position time after time. Like that song say, time after time.
That's crazy.
But you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying about standards and stuff. You, at the end of the day, don't settle just because you want a man. And a lot of people settling, bro.
I agree with you on that.
A lot of people are settling. You got kids now. You got women that they'll sacrifice their kids for a man, and that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you got people that's doing just crazy things for a lesser value man. And I'm sorry to say, like, I'm trying to teach my daughters, hey, on a certain level, that you gotta always have your standards to a certain degree.
You better.
Yeah, because
every man is not a king. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Every woman is not a queen.
Exactly.
That's just what it is.
Yep.
Some of them just sorry ass niggas, and I don't want to say the other sorry ass old, but for real, straight up, right?
The standards are low because, like Miss Phillips said, self-love. A lot of women are not self-loving themselves. And so when you're not loving yourself, your standards are going to be a little more, you're going to take a little more stuff. You're going to deal with a lot of less valued guys who don't really bring nothing to the table. And what I mean by bring something to the table, that means, hey, just helping out around the house, wash the dishes. Because a lot of guys...
So what do you believe... So do you think if a woman meets a man that does not work, he's pretty much like a what they call him?
Stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, stay-at-home dad. Is he less of value? Is he not a good man?
Say it again.
Y'all quiet now. See,
No, because you know what?
Y'all
Being in the military, I've seen...
How do y'all feel about a stay-at-home man? Is he a good man if he stay home with the kids? Because we're talking about all these different things as provider, X, Y, and Z that a man...
If that's the role that woman want that man to be in.
See, that's what I just said.
But
so it's all about...
No. I just read an article exactly what you said about, talking about. And if that man, at some point in time, she's going to get tired of that role. Because that role, if he's staying at home and all of that's going to get old after a while. You only can stay home for a certain amount of time. And she's paying all the bills. Do you think that's a man, Isaac?
Hey, listen. Whatever's good for you is good for you. But listen,
Tell him.
Listen. Here are my thoughts on it, right?
I want to hear it.
If a man is staying at home and a woman's providing, she's doing it. Is he cooking? What is he? He just staying at home or
watching? He going to pick the kids. He doing what?
Playing the Xbox all day long.
He playing the Xbox. He picking up the kids. He changing diapers.
Hey, there's a reason why we talk about can you keep a good man or can you find a good man? Because
I could not do that.
Well, let me tell you this. I have a friend of mine. We go way back. She's from the islands. She has a man that's in her eyes is lazy, and he basically does what we're talking about, and she's like at a point she's resenting him, and at the end of the day,
well, that's probably because they didn't agree on that position,
and he's made comments to her and like, hey, if you leave like a female would do, if you leave, we'll let the courts decide how much money you're gonna pay me. To me, that was like, wow, that's a bitch move, but okay.
Would you think
good men come in all packages? Good men come in all packages. I agree.
See, that's what I mean. That's the same way I feel. It's like you can't really. I think it has everything to do with that individual's needs. It really is, or what they think a good man is for them. Because how we see we're coming from a different perspective. Again, a different perspective. Right? Because we're quote unquote coming from alpha male perspective, right? What about the other males?
Well, they look like I said.
Are they good men? Do you believe that they are good men?
Well, like Takita said, good men come in all packages. But for me,
you don't believe that.
I'm just saying it defines like what kind of man do you want to? At this point in time, I'm like, what?
I just gave you an example.
What man? No. What I'm saying is, what kind of man for me? What kind of man I want to be at that point in time? I just can't define myself in that role.
But that's what I'm saying. The women can't find. It's difficult to find men like us.
But if that's the case, if they want an alpha male, then you don't settle because at this point in time you're settling. Then if that's the case. That, to me, you're settling and you're going to be still not with a good man, because at the end of the day, she's going to more than likely resent that person because he don't have those qualities that what she wants. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm following you.
So
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Oh, I know you're playing devil's advocate.
I believe. Go ahead.
I'm just saying, like, at that point in time, she's just going to, she ain't going to like it after a while.
Idea. What did you say? It's stupid. Takia said it's totally up to her and what she wants if she can afford him.
Exactly. Now, so if she can afford him,
It goes back to exactly what
But
you're saying.
I don't see him lasting long because that'll get old.
Now, and Corey just said, a real man will lighten the load for his queen at all costs. I agree with you on that.
I agree with you
I
100%,
agree.
bro.
That is a good man.
Yes.
Regardless. If he did not have a job at that time and he know his woman needed a babysitter, hey, baby, I'm gonna watch the kids. I do whatever it takes to make sure we.
And that's what you do as a good man. You help lighten that. He put it in the perfect perspective.
Exactly.
You help lighten the load with your woman.
That's right.
You basically are together to be helpmates with one another. So that's help lighten the load.
That's right. I share to that.
I think we touched on a lot of good stuff tonight, and hopefully nobody's got offended or anything like that. But we're gonna start coming to you guys consistently
on Mondays and Thursdays.
Yes. And
8 o'clock.
Yeah, well, let's push it about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we're gonna do 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So if you guys have any,
he came by supported us again today.
It's a pleasure being here, John.
Yeah.
You know, when they were talking about this show, I was really excited because the topic is something that most shows won't touch.
No.
They won't talk about it. It's shots fired, you know. Yeah. And I'm not giving no, I'm not down any other show, but I'm saying on this show,
the Ugly Damn Truth show, you're gonna get it.
You're gonna get it raw. You're gonna get it without no Vaseline. You gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, we just want to teach people, not necessarily teach people, but share with people our experiences that we experienced as men on a consistent basis, and hopefully somebody gets something out of it, and you learn something or whatever. And we, like I said, we just want to share the knowledge that we gain from stuff. Yep. We do a lot of reading. We take. I know for me, I don't mind educating myself because I even learned something from you guys asking questions and stuff. So, it's all great. And
Corey said, honestly, he said he needed this talk tonight.
Oh, okay.
Hey, we happy that we can give you a hand on this, man. This has been on our heart for a couple of days, man.
It's been on our heart for a while, but we was in that other series.
And we was trying to figure out how to word it, too, because we
didn't want
to offend nobody.
We didn't want to ruffle nobody's feathers.
Nah, not at all.
Yeah, not man. But hey, if you guys help us, share the video when we post it.
Definitely share the video, guys. Share it, please.
Yeah, share it. Give us some thumbs up, some likes.
Send it everywhere.
Send it. And signing off, we'll see you Monday.
Yep, we'll see you guys Monday around 8 o'clock.
And we're going
to have a good weekend.
Yes, have a great weekend.
Alafia.
Alafia.